It's your girl, Lady Mocha. You know I'm always going to pour you a cup of truth, and I'm always going to break you off a slice of knowledge. Hello, good afternoon. Did you miss me? It is your girl, Lady Mocha, and I thank all of you for tuning in and dining with me, dining with your girl at Cafe de Paris. I know it's been a minute since I uploaded, but you know what? I know I had to give it a few days because I needed to give you guys some time to digest all of this knowledge that I have been giving you. Okay, I didn't want to overstuff you. I wanted to give you time to digest this wisdom, okay? So with that being said, I hope you all had a chance to view my last video, which was my most recent upload before this one, called Why Black Daughters Hate Their Black Mothers, okay? And if you didn't get a chance to check it out, because I'm telling y'all, I went into some real deep details. I did surgery, okay? You know what I'm saying? And explaining as to why there's so much division between black daughters and black mothers, okay? And I broke down all of the elements. I had a lot of you reach out to me and was like, wow, you know, my wife is going through that, my sister's going through that, I've gone through that, you know, and it's so much, you know, unfortunately, is again, as I mentioned, it's just so much division between black women. You know, it's bad enough where there's a division between black men and black women. There's a division between black women and white women. And it seems like black women, we have so much division with other people, and worst of all, we have it with our own daughters, okay? Or we have it with our own mothers. You will be surprised how many black women cannot stand their mothers, and how many mothers cannot stand their black daughters, you know. So I felt it was very imperative that I did a message on that. That way also the men could kind of have a sense as to why black women are orchestrated the way that they are. And a lot of it has to do with the woman who brought them out in this life, and that's their own mother. And if you don't have a solid, healthy relationship with your own mother, then the chances of you having a healthy relationship with anybody else is almost inevitable. And same thing for you, and same thing to make you black men understand is that you know, a lot of women cannot connect with you because they come from women who haven't taught them how to connect with other men, okay? Because they didn't even connect with the mother who brought them in this life, you know? So again, if you get a chance, check that on out, my message of why black daughters hate their black mothers. Believe me, it's an eye-opener. It'll be a blessing to somebody out there. If you're having an issue with your mother, or mothers, you're having an issue with your daughter, check out that video. It's going to be some things that's going to open your eyes and make you realize some of the factors that probably contributed to that, okay? So just check it out when you get a chance. Matter of fact, when this video ends, I'm going to link it to the ending of this video. So with that being said, we're going to move forward. I want to thank all of my followers. I want to thank Kink Era. I want to thank Mr. Smith with League of Dash. I want to thank Wake the Hell Up. I want to thank everybody who's been rocking with your girl, who's been dining with me, enjoying every dish that I have been producing with this knowledge, y'all. Because y'all know how I operate. I am the queen of knowledge. I am the diva of wisdom. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to break it all the way down to the lowest common denominator. On that note, today's recipe on the menu is sorry parents who produce sorry children. Yes, I said it. Sorry parents are producing sorry children, okay? The reason why I felt it was very imperative that I go into this message is because there are a lot of children who come into this world already not even standing a chance before they learn how to sit up and feed their own selves. Some children are doomed from the womb. Yes, I said it. It's a lot of children out there that are doomed from the womb based on the type of parents who produced them and brought them in this life. Some children don't even get a chance Some don't even get a chance. They're already failing based on the type of parents who are raising them, okay? And this, the reason why I decided to do a video on this was because there was actually a situation that occurred recently here in my hometown. And out of respect for the families, I'm not going to say any names. I'm not going to, in no shape or form, discuss it, because it's a very personal matter and a lot of it is under investigation, and I don't have the type of connections to interview certain folks to get the correct information. So on that note, that's the reason why I'm not going to use any names, because I don't want to give false information or whatever, and I don't have any accurate facts. But for the most part, I got the basic facts as to what was the reason as to why I planned on doing this topic today. Basically, there was an issue here that recently occurred where a young man had lost his life, okay? He was 15 years old, and he tragically lost his life by a gun that another 16-year-old had in his possession, okay? So basically, you could only imagine there are two families that are hurting, and they're in a lot of pain right now. And for those of you who haven't experienced losing a child, it is no joke, especially when you have lost that child due to gun violence in a reckless manner. You know what I'm saying? Wasn't like this child was sick. It wasn't like this child had medical issues or something like that. A healthy young man who was already trying to make something of himself. He was on the football team. He was well respected in the community. He came from a very wholesome family. You could tell his parents were church-going people, godly people, and I know, a lot of times, looks can be deceiving, but I can tell by the way they carry themselves and the way they have spoken so gracefully, even after losing a child, that these people are definitely good-spirited people, you know what I mean? And basically, unfortunately, as I was saying, they lost their son. And the unfortunate part about it is the young man who killed him, I personally know that young man's mother. Okay, now keep in mind, we don't hang out together, we don't never have coffee together or anything like that, but I'm very familiar with her. And ironically, before this incident, before this tragedy had even occurred between her son and this young man who deceased, before this incident occurred between both of these young men, I pretty much always observed from the time when she had her child that he was going to be troublesome. It's unfortunate that a lot of parents do not read the signs, okay? It's too many parents that bring children into this world, and they ignore all of the signs that their son or their daughter are heading to become very troublesome human beings. That it's unfortunate that they don't read the signs that their sons or their daughters are going to become a menace to society. They see all the signs, they ignore it, they disregard it. And I find it ironic that most of the time other people can see what trouble your child is heading towards better than the own parent. Do you guys ever notice that? How it's that one child in the neighborhood that you just know is going to end up in somebody's prison. You just know is going to end up on the 6 o'clock news. You can just look at that child. You can look at that person's son. You can look at that person's daughter, and you just know. Yeah, that child, I can already see he gonna end up in somebody's state correctional prison facility. I mean, you just know, you know what I'm saying? Especially when you are a parent. When you are a parent, you can definitely identify with a troubled child, okay? So, it's ironic that, everybody knows that one child. And that is how I felt in this case. I just knew this young man was going to get in some serious trouble later on in life. And the reason I say that is because when I met his mother, and granted this was every bit of maybe 13, 14 years ago, she was just one of those mothers that I could say was on ratchet side, you know, who pretty much allowed her children to say whatever, do whatever, and she never really parented them. You know, I remember when this young man was only 6, 7 years old, you know, and was wearing the latest Jordans. I remember when he was only a couple of months old and had a necklace around his neck. Now, that grieves my spirit. I don't know why these crazy ass women who produce these children, and you post them on Facebook, and they only a couple of months old, and you got a necklace around their neck. That is the stupidest thing any parent could do. Don't they realize that's hazardous? Why would you put a gold chain around your child's neck and they just learning how to sit up? Even if they're 2, 3 years old and walking, I would never put a chain around a toddler's neck. And there's so many ratchet ass mothers who do that. I don't get it. And a lot of these young girls who dumb as a doorknob, who dumb as a box of rocks, who do it a lot. If you ladies, if y'all got newborns, please, toddlers, do not put a chain around their neck. It is not that serious, okay? Because things can happen. They can miss and crawl, and you know that chain could pull them by their neck. I mean, it's just stupid. But anyway, she was one of them kind. So y'all already have a general idea as to where I'm going with this, okay? And I noticed as time went on and as he got older, his attitude, his demeanor, it got worse as he became older, especially when he started transitioning into his preteen years. That's when you really started seeing the attitude, the bigotiness, and I'm like, wow, this young man is just going to be a handful. You know, he was very cocky, very arrogant. How you 12 and 13 years old and you always got your shirt off in every picture. You got your shirt off, you know, carrying yourself like you a 32-year-old grown man, you know, and he acted very manly. And I don't mean manly as in, you know, taking the trash out or helping his granddaddy change the oil in his truck. Not manly in that sense, but manly as in his attitude. Like, he was already all of that. He was very biggity, and he just had a bad attitude, and we saw all of that. I saw that. It was just evident when he was only like 13, 14 years old. Well, unfortunately now he's gotten himself in a situation to where he's mostly indefinitely is going to end up doing life in prison because he killed somebody else's child. And you and I both know, black folks, we don't have the complexion for the connection. We do anything wrong, they gonna nail us to the cross. So you already know this young man has already ruined his life. It's nothing for them to question. It was all on camera. I mean, it's just a done deal. He cannot escape it. It's just done. You know, he's gonna, unfortunately, gonna have to face the fact that he took someone's life. And not only he's gonna have to face the fact, he's gonna be facing prison. And the sad part is he's 16 years old, and on top of that, he had just became a father. He has a newborn son. Okay, so that's not a good look. You know what I'm saying? You're not even 18 yet, and here it is, you're a father. You're going from a father to becoming a lifetime criminal. Okay, so I said all of that to say this, that a part of me really wants to blame him for the fact that he took somebody else's life, okay? And because he's so young and immature, it really has not marinated. You can look at his face and tell it just has not registered that he did something very fatal, that he made a decision so destructive, that so severe, that it's going to cost him the rest of his life. The immaturity in him has not faced that yet, you know, but I'm sure as time goes on and he's done years and years and years in prison, I'm sure eventually reality will sink in that, you know, he really made a bad choice. But right now, he's 16 years old and wet behind the ears. So he's not understanding the severity of the choices he has made, and how not only has it impacted the child who he has killed family, but his siblings, his mother, his father, is going to be impacted by this decision, you know. And now the mother of his child is going to be raising that child alone. Parents, what a lot of y'all are not understanding is, if you are a parent that's irresponsible, you inconsiderate, you lack morals, you lack values, you lack common sense, you cannot teach your children something that you do not have. You can't. And parents that have these qualities that I have just described, no morals, inconsiderate, ghetto, ratchet, uneducated, no morals, no values, no common sense, no spiritual structure. Any parent that has all of those qualities, I'm letting you know now, your child is doomed. Your daughter is doomed. Your son is doomed. You cannot teach a child something that hasn't been taught to you. As I said earlier, a lot of these children are doomed from the womb before they even make it in this world, just because of the kind of parents they have. And it's a lot of parents that's walking around here, they don't have a problem with their children wearing the latest fashion shoes, the latest fashion clothes, but that child doesn't have any manners. And what they're not realizing is they're in the making of creating a monster that's going to become so out of control on them that it's going to take somebody else to have to break them down. And that is what the prison systems are doing. They're breaking down these unruly ass children that have become unruly ass adults. Let that marinate for a moment. It's too many parents around here more concerned with the designer labels their toddlers and their teenagers are wearing than they are teaching them simple manners. Yes, ma'am. No, ma'am. Teach them how to respect authority. A lot of these parents, they think it's cute when their child is 2-3 years old, twerking. And their little sons around here, 2-3 years old, already talking like he a thug, cussing and rap music. It's cute now. But in the long run, it's going to come back to haunt you as a parent when you have to go visit your child behind a thin glass window. And you got to keep putting money on that child's books for the rest of his life. Everything is a joke until something bad happens. It's too many sorry parents out here that are not guiding their children, that are not teaching them right from wrong. As I stated, I knew this young man was troubled because I met his mother. And she was the typical hood rat. Loud, obnoxious, don't know how to hold an intelligent and intellectual conversation. She one of them ones. We all know somebody like that. We all know a Kanika, a Pam Quisha. One of them. Just straight hood rat. And not only was she hood rat, she taught her children how to be hood rat. Her children were disrespectful, rude, didn't care what they said, regardless of what would come out their mouth, knowing it's other adults that are in their presence. That was how she raised them. That's how she trained them. It was bad enough he made her a grandmother at the age of 15, which meant, okay, it takes a year for a child to get pregnant. So he had to have been screwing since he was 12 and 13. And ironically, she is one of those mothers who stay on Facebook constantly, posting selfies of herself. If she spent more time in keeping up with what the hell he was doing than posting selfies, maybe her son wouldn't be facing time in prison right now. It's too many black women putting their attention in the wrong places. She more concerned with getting attention than making sure her children are getting attention they need from her. She too busy looking for attention their own self. And it's a lot of black mothers, believe it or not. A lot of them, that's how their children go astray. That's how the system ends up getting a hold of their child. They too busy trying to get attention versus giving their children attention. And that's what happened in this case. Mama too busy trying to get her man and do her. And you have a lot of women that do that. They don't care what their child is doing as long as their child is out of their face. They don't care until things like this happen. They don't care what time that child is coming home at night. They don't care that that child is flunking in school, or teachers calling her every other week telling her they can't do nothing. You know, Billy is being disrespectful. Billy's not turning in his homework. They disregard all of that until something major like this happens. Black mothers do not take life seriously until their child either hurts somebody else's child or either their child gets hurt. And let me play devil's advocate. And again, if this doesn't apply, you don't have to reply. If you know you're a good mom, you're a good black mother, you make sure your children's grades are good in school, you make sure they're mannerable, you make sure they know how to respect adults, then you are exempt from this message. But you are the hood rats. You know who you are, and if you feeling some type of way, then it must be you. If you don't fit this category, then you know it's nothing for you to get offended about. If you're getting offended, it's because you know it's you. It's too many black mothers that are putting their focus in the wrong area. They're more concerned with their child support hitting their EPT card. They're more concerned with them. Their other concern is a man that's willing to move in with them and her 8 or 9 children, so she don't have to take care of those children by herself. Her focus is looking good so she can get in the club and catch happy hour. And public assistance. Those are her only concern. Other than that, she can care less about what her children are going through until something bad happens. It's way too many black mothers out here that are not putting anything into their children because they're more concerned with getting the benefits out of having children, but they're not concerned with making sure they're putting all the proper qualities into these children so they can become productive citizens and productive adults. When these hyenas do not raise their children, these are the children we have to deal with that are going to be snatching our pocketbooks from us when we're in our 80s, 90s, burglarizing our homes. This is the generation, y'all, that we're going to have to deal with. These hyenas who are not raising their children, we're going to have to deal with this. And guess what? The sad part is they're going to have children. So if they ain't robbing us, it's going to be their great-grandchildren robbing us. It's a generational curse. If the mama is sorry, she didn't teach her son, she didn't teach her daughter anything, then they're going to be sorry with their kids. It's going to keep going. And you may be an exception to, and like I said, there are some exceptions to the rules. You got some black moms out there who doing it by themselves, but their kids are in college. Their kids got good jobs. They ain't around here burglarizing and breaking in people's house and shooting and killing other people's children. But some of you black mothers, and I'm going to go there. So if you're going to feel some type of way, maybe it's time to go ahead and delete my video, close my video and go view something else. But a lot of you black mothers who have sons, y'all are raising y'all sons to be as soft as cottonelle tissue. And the reason I say that is, You black mothers in particular who are single moms, some of y'all are single because y'all didn't have a choice. If the father deceased or died, you're excluded from this. If you wanted that father to be there and he did not want to be there, no matter how much you tried to really talk to him and cooperate with him and he walked away, then you're exempt. Now for you other black mothers who didn't care who you laid with because you was trying to get a check and you brought this child here, then this is the reason you're going through what you're going through. Or you had a relationship with the father or whatever the case is. Now you're in your feelings because he's not feeling you or he done moved on. You don't want him to be a part of your life anymore, of your son's life. If your son does not have that masculine balance, you know what's going to happen? He's going to adopt all of your feminine characteristics. And what I mean by that, I'm not talking about just homosexual tendencies. Even though that is the case for many of sons who've only been raised by their mothers, the probability of them becoming homosexual 9 times out of 10 is generated from being in a single mother home. But even with that, anybody's sexual preference or sexual orientation, that's not my business. Okay? Because it's some who choose that preference and have both parents. So that's not really my main focus when I say a son gains feminine characteristics, okay? Because I know some gay men who way more masculine than these straight men, okay? So, to all my gays out there, I got love for y'all. I got nothing against y'all lifestyle or whatever. That's besides the point. What I mean by feminine characteristics is that he learns how to have attitudes. He learns to be moody. He learns to be, extra and just so he just basically he builds all of these womanly characteristics to where he acts like a damn woman. He gets an attitude like a woman. He snaps like a woman. You know why? That's because he's only been exposed to how a woman deals with anger. And women, our anger, the way we deal with anger is different from how men deal with their anger. If you look around, if you notice any of these men who flying off the handles or screaming and hollering, most men are not screamers. Most men are not hollerers. Most men don't holler. Most men do not raise their voice unless they get really angry. Okay? Like my husband, he's very soft-spoken. Or you have some men, they're not as soft-spoken, but it's still that. It's the difference between, like I said before, that masculine anger and that feminine anger. Women, when we get angry, this so and you blah, 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 and you so, you know how we are. We get loud, we scream, because we feel like the louder we are, the more we getting hurt. That's part of being a woman. I don't condone that kind of behavior. But women, when we're emotional, our emotions take over our behavior. So we're loud, we're obnoxious and doing our head and doing our hands. That's like a womanly type of anger. Now when a man gets angry, all right, now the more calm a man gets when he's angry. Now when men get angry, their anger is different from ours. A man will either become super quiet and will strike your behind when you least expect it, or they may get loud one time, and the moment you cross them, that man is going to give you the beat down. Real men don't do all that hollering and screaming. They say what they got to say, and if they feel like you're still crossing the line, nah, they gonna put them paws on you. But you men who have been raised by these single mamas, who got to scream and holler, yeah, these hoes ain't this, and these hoes ain't that, and these BITCHs ain't. If you got to scream and holler, You have adopted some feminine characteristics somewhere. Where you got out of screaming or hollering from, King? Where have you got all that screaming or hollering and raising your voice from? It's some feminine characteristics that you have adopted from your mother somewhere. Because if you had a man in your life, the moment he see you getting mad over something stupid, he'll jack you up. A mother don't do that with her sons. She let her son get mad how he want to get mad, express himself how he want to express himself. She don't have that manly authority to say, all right, you stop acting like a little bitch, stop acting like a little girl. Women not going to tell their sons, stop acting like a little girl. You know why? Because she's a woman herself. She not going to see nothing wrong with him throwing tantrums and he doing that at 3-4 years old. You making your son a little girl, and that's how they become these full-grown men that's soft and screaming and hollering to get their point across, because they don't have that manly balance. Now, if you had a father in that home who saw that little boy acting out and throwing tantrums like a little girl, he hit me, he's yelled at me, that father jack him up. Look, boy, bring your behind here. Stop acting like a little girl, act like a man. You gonna let yourself get upset about something like that? Man up. But for you men who did not have that man to make you man up, that's why you be screaming and hollering at the top of your lungs like that. And that comes from your mother, who did not allow a man to be in your life to balance you out, to show you how to handle your anger in a manly manner. Let that marinate. Think about it. That one angry man who's angry all the time, angry gentleman, any angry man on your job, any angry man in your in your house who got to scream and holler and do all of that, he ain't no man. Ain't no man got to scream and holler. If he's a real man, guess what? The moment he stepped through that door, that whole family gonna know, oh, the man is here now. Now we got to straighten up. Daddy home now. We may run all over the place and jump off and on the sofa and hanging from the chandelier, acting like little wild monkeys. Mama yelling at us, y'all sit down. Y'all leave that alone. When daddy come home, when that man, he ain't got to say a word. Let me tell you something. My father had so much authority, he never had to yell. Just that look let us know that I'm a grown man and I'm not playing with y'all. He could get us to respect him with just that one masculine look. A lot of you men who swear y'all got control of y'all homes, y'all don't have no control. All that screaming and hollering, you got to scream and holler at somebody, that come from your mother. You done see her scream and holler. Ain't no man been in the household to balance you and show you how to get your anger under control, to teach you how not to be petty. Got a lot of petty grown men because they've been raised by single mothers. Or either they had a father in the home that just didn't give a damn, didn't give them that manly structure. Let the mama run everything. Or daddy was too busy, papa was too busy being a rolling stone. He was never home to raise nobody, because he was too busy messing with Linda down the street. It's a lot of, unfortunately, it's a lot of single mothers who have raised a lot of angry full-grown men, because as little boys they allowed them to act like little girls and have their way and throw tantrums. And all this does is create a whole nother generation of confused and angry young men who now our daughters have to deal with. My daughter's 16 years old, and slowly but surely she's getting into her dating. If it was left up to me, I wouldn't want her dating at all. But the times we living in, these children are moving way faster than what we were moving. But anyway, When you create your sons to be these cottonelle tissue type of dudes, they don't take responsibility for anything. And again, a lot of that comes from you moms. You single mothers who didn't give them that masculine structure. Let that marinate for a moment. It's a lot of y'all who are training y'all sons to become soft. And that is why when they become full-grown men, they still struggle getting it together. It's a saying that you can raise your son to be another woman's blessing. Or you can raise your son to be another woman's burden. Same thing. You can raise your daughter to become another man's blessing. Or you can raise your daughter to become another man's burden. It all depends. A lot of y'all are raising your children to become somebody else's burdens. You mamas with these cottonelle tissue sons, you still got them attached to your umbilical cord. And now that you want them to grow up, they don't know how to do that. It's that baby boy syndrome, like Jody from the movie. You want them to hurry up, man up, grow up, so you can get rid of them now, because now he wearing out your couch. He done put a big dent in your sectional sofa. Because he keep bringing little birdies to the nest. He's producing more children than he could afford to take care of. Because you have not taught him how to be a man. And part of that is because you are not a man. It takes a man to raise a man. I'm sorry. I don't want to hear that. Black women, we don't need no man. You need a man to teach your son how to be a man. Like your daughters, your husband, or your baby daddy can't teach your daughter how to be a woman. That is your job. God is a strategic God. He intentionally designed it that way to where both parents play a significant role. That's how wise God is. It's called the universal of balance, or balance of universal, however they call it. We all cannot do it all by ourselves. But a lot of you mothers, y'all rather your children suffer by raising them on your own, even though you know you need the help, even though you know you're struggling, but because of your pride, or you so mad because he done moved on with Keisha, you rather raise a child by yourself versus asking for help and letting him be involved. Or you just want him to pay the child support and keep it moving. And then when he ends up in somebody's prison or jail, now you calling the father because you need money for a lawyer. And this is another thing, you gentlemen, if y'all don't know already, if you are paying child support and your son ends up incarcerated while that child is on child support, you better contact her caseworker as soon as possible. Get that child support dropped. He is no longer your obligation once he is incarcerated. A lot of these mothers are not going to tell you that. They'll be sitting back knowing their son's still in jail and collecting off of you. The moment Billy is incarcerated, go talk to that caseworker. It's state law. They got to drop it. Unless there's an arrearage. Now, if it's an arrearage, I don't know how that goes. But if you've been paying it on time, never had no issues, you're not supposed to keep paying for that child if they're incarcerated. Because that child now belongs to the state. So why are you paying child support and you have to pay that through the state? You get what I'm saying? If you have a son that's locked up and you still paying, you better go look into that. That's some real knowledge I just gave y'all. These women ain't not going to tell you that. They'll sit back and still collect that check, knowing good darn well they're not supposed to be getting anything. Go to juvenile court, get them to print out a paper that your son is incarcerated, take it to that caseworker. Boom, done. You're going to have to cut back on getting Chinese food and them nails done. But anyway, as I was stating before, these young men have gotten into that cottonelle tissue, that Charmin tissue syndrome. They soft. because they have been pampered. Their mothers have babied them for so long. Haven't taught them anything. Have not taught them how to be a man. Now this young man is going to spend the rest of his life. Didn't even get a chance to purchase his first home. Will never get to see his little boy walk. Have his first walk. We in critical times. And the bottom line is, a lot of it has to do with the fact that these parents are not taking parenting seriously. They're just having these children like it's a sport to see who gonna win, or can I get more babies than you. They try to, so many women try to have a one-up on each other by intentionally one getting pregnant, and then when that one pregnant, then the other one get pregnant. They're having a one-up and taking turns getting pregnant by the same dude. And meanwhile, they struggling. And he ain't paying for neither one of them. That's how sad the times we are. The times we live in, that's just how sad times have gotten. That some black women, not all, if it doesn't apply, you don't have to reply. Most of these black women are willing to do anything to stay on top instead of staying on top of their game. They try to stand on top of each other. You're raising your sons to become another woman's burden. Then when he gets in a relationship, he becomes a headache to that woman because you have made him so used to you doing everything. Now he looks for every woman to do that. Get an attitude if his girlfriend asked him to take the trash out. Because when you were raising him, you didn't teach him how to be a man at all. You didn't even have him empty the trash. Nothing. But you brought him video games. You brought him all the latest Jordans. All the latest Adidas windbreakers and all this other stuff. And you didn't teach him nothing. Now he's going to become a whole nother woman's problem. He's going to look for her to do everything that you have done. And it just keeps going. And you as a woman, this is what black women don't understand. If you have been in a struggle with a man, not handling his business, not paying the bills, not doing his part, not helping you out around the house, you as a woman, you should be able to relate to other women. And so with that being said, that should motivate you to raise your son to be a real man. That way another woman ain't got to go through what you had to go through. A lot of you women are catching hell because y'all done had to deal with these mama's boys who done have mothers who have always catered to them. And by the time they got into your life, they looking for the same thing. You around here got to work 2, 3 jobs while he just worked 1. And I say this to the women, not only for them to understand, but to my guys, to all the fellas out there. A lot of these women are in a messed up state of mind based on the choices they have made in men. And that's why when these women get back out there and they try to date or mingle or deal with other men, and men can't really deal with them because they have been used and burnt so many times. Now the next man who you deal with, you trying to get as much as you can out of him to make up for the man who burnt you. You willing to use somebody else to replace all of what you lost dealing with a bum. Marinate on that. It's a lot of people stepping back out here into the dating world, not because they want to find somebody that's going to treat them right. They want somebody to fix all of what somebody else left them broke with. You got to honestly think about that. I told y'all it's that janitor syndrome. People looking for somebody to come into their life and clean up their mess. It's too many single mothers out here that are creating a generation of criminals, creating a generation of irresponsible men, irresponsible daughters, because y'all too busy doing y'all. Y'all too busy treating y'all children like your kids like they're on your level. Or some of y'all y'all, again, like I said, you know, you could be in a home to where you got both mothers and fathers. Some of you fathers so lazy, y'all don't got time to be bothered. Y'all don't work all day. When y'all come home, the only thing y'all want to do is scratch your balls, get your plate of food, take you a hot shower, catch up on your ESPN, and you go to sleep. You don't interact with your children. You don't ask them how their day was. You leave that all on the woman to take care of. You can have a father in your home, but that don't mean he's in your life. There's a big difference. Yeah, I'm writing my fellas too. Because this ain't just a womanly issue. And then, it's some of you men, you want to be there. You trying to be there. But you can't, because the mother of your child is such a doggone drama queen. You trying to see about your son, your daughter. She want to bring up issues from the past. She too worried about what you and Linda doing. She worried about what you and Linda doing because her and Curtis ain't getting along. Misery likes company. Her stuff going sour. Now she trying to mess up with what you got going. She trying to keep up being all in your mustard, trying to catch up. We needed to get it together. Sorry parents produce sorry children. And in the end, you may not see nothing wrong with it, but what happens is sometimes karma comes through your children. A lot of the things that you do, a lot of the things that you have done, a lot of y'all are getting your karma back, but instead of it coming to you, it's being reinforced through your children. Sometimes karma will come through your own kids. You will see them suffer. They will go through all kinds of things in life that's not going to make any sense to them or to you. But a lot of it is the karma. That's the seed you have sown. And basically, you know, this is your restitution. A lot of y'all having to pay back all the dirt you done put out there. And it's funny how a lot of us, we don't see nothing wrong with what we do until we see something happens to our children. Like, for example, as black moms, sometimes we don't see nothing wrong with how we take advantage of these black men out here, how we use them, we take them for their money and get what we can get out of them. We don't see nothing wrong with it until it happens to your son. When your son meets a hood rat like you that takes up for everything he has, now you want to kill her. Yeah, she done come out my son's life. She want my son money. She trying to take my son to court. Wait a minute, boo-boo. Didn't you do that with somebody else's son? Your baby daddy's somebody's son. Your ex-husband's somebody's son. But the shoe don't feel good when it's happening to your son. And you men too. Because I'm going to pick with y'all. Y'all know I love my guys. But I love my guys because they can take criticism. Y'all don't chew me out as much. Same thing with you guys. All the women you done mistreated, all the women you done did in, you done lied to, you done used, you done walked away from that, had your baby. Okay, now your daughter going through it. Man done walk off and left her with your grandchild. Don't feel some type of way. Don't get mad at your daughter, baby daddy, because he ain't there. Think about it now. Was you always there for your children? Keep in mind, the women you have taken advantage of was somebody else's daughter. Don't get mad when somebody take advantage of your daughter. You reap what you sow. It goes both ways. You women out here quick to get mad and wanna slap a broad down if she even look at your son wrong. She after my son for child support. She after my son, all she wants is his money. Excuse me. Doesn't that sound familiar? We don't see nothing wrong until it happens to our own children. We see nothing wrong with what we do until somebody else does it to our kids. Y'all better wise up. The diva of knowledge is not playing today. I'm going all the way in. So Sorry parents produce sorry children. All the things that your children are going through comes from the seed you produced. If you planted good seeds, you're going to get back good seeds. You planted bad seeds, you're going to get back bad seeds. It is what it is. You're going through certain stuff. Look back in your past. Remember, reflect, write it down. Write down some things that you have done. You will be surprised. It's like it's recycling. Karma is constantly recycling itself. We have to do better as parents. You have to realize when you bring a child into this life, you sowing seeds. What you put in that child is going to manifest. If you put good into that child's going to become a blessing to you. And then some of y'all make y'all children so much y'all world till just nobody can't tell y'all nothing. Y'all put y'all children on a pedestal. And I tell every parent this: if you got more than one child, please do not favor one child more than the other. I can't even tell y'all how many stories I've seen in which every mother that has favored that one child always disappoints them. It never fails. Just because this child here doing so good and the other one doing so bad, he seems like he ain't going to get it together. Don't give up on the other one and just put all your energy in the one who you feel doing is better. Tables turn. Life fluctuates. The same child you so crazy about that you put all your all into and you brag. Little Joey made high honor roll. Little Joey got accepted to Harvard University, all this other stuff. Little Joey end up becoming a damn mass murderer or a rapist. These children will embarrass you. You have to be careful putting them on a pedestal. There's nothing wrong with loving your children, but don't make nothing bigger than God. Nothing. Loving your children and worshiping your children is two of the same things. Some of y'all worship your children so much to the point y'all think they perfect and you think they can't do no wrong. And then boom, before you know it, you getting a call from the doggone county jail. Some of y'all see your children's behavior and y'all turn a blind eye every time. Because y'all don't want to be bothered. Some of y'all children are so disrespectful, so bad, y'all don't even want to be bothered with them. Y'all don't even care what they do. Y'all leave them out there for innocent people to get mugged, robbed, and raped. All because you didn't want to take the time to try to teach them anything. Y'all leave them out here for the world to have to be stuck to deal with. And these are your monsters that you created. I can go on and on about this all day. But I'm going to keep it short. I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. There's too many sorry parents producing these sorry children. And the signs be right there. But these parents will turn a blind eye. And denial has cost a lot of parents. My son will never do that. My daughter never do that. I told y'all before, never say what your child will or won't do. You don't know that child. You know how many beautiful babies done come in this world, wrapped in nice blankets, tiny feet, tiny hands, full-grown adults who done killed, who done murdered, who done raped, who done molested, did all kind of stuff. Go back and ask their parents, did they ever think their son and their daughter would be the type of individuals they are today? Don't be too sure of yourself, ladies and gentlemen. And you single mothers, y'all can feel some type of way if you want to, but it's just a proven fact. The statistics show most troubled children come from single mother homes. I'm sure some come from parents. Jeffrey Dahmer had both parents. That didn't stop him from chopping bodies up and eating human beings. But statistically, it's more single parents. You single mothers, especially you ratchet ones. I know my message today was pretty strong, with some strong deliverance. I know the recipe was pretty strong. But it just really grieved my spirit that somebody lost their son all because there was another mother who neglected to teach her son right from wrong. And she's walking around here confused like she don't know what happened or how it happened. She really don't have a clue. Parents do this and wonder, where did I go wrong? You think it's cute to buy them all kind of expensive clothes, treat them like, you know, they God's gift, and then 20 years down the line, 30 years down the line, you're looking at, where did I go wrong when they end up in somebody's prison? If you're going to buy them all that stuff, and I get it. Nobody wants to see their child raggedy. You telling me you telling me, Mocha, that if I'm buying my kids nice stuff, I got to let them look raggedy for them to be mournable? No. If you're going to buy them the best of things, you better make sure they have some manners with all of that. Make manners, make respect just as important as they fashion. Teach them morals. Teach them values. That's going to get them much further than a pair of Jordans. You don't want to end up one of them parents got to talk to your son and your daughter through a glass mirror, through a glass window, because they made one mistake that cost them their whole life. You got to try to, out of control now. Y'all need to get on board. Put them on boot camp. Do something. Anything. Get a hold of them now. Before you end up being one of those mothers that's going to become just what this young lady that I told y'all about is facing today. I hope today's message reached somebody. If not, if it doesn't reach you, share this with other people. It's somebody who got a troubled son, who got a troubled daughter, and they don't know why. Maybe this video will be an eye-opener to them. Like I said, my knowledge is free. I'm not charging y'all for anything. Like, share, subscribe, pass the word, send this video to someone. Or send this video to someone who you know who has a child that's in trouble and they just can't see their way out and they don't know what to do. Knowledge is for free, okay? So make sure y'all get this video out here. On that note, I want to thank all of you. I want to thank my followers. I want to thank my loyal subscribers who been reaching out to me. I want to thank all of you who've been rocking with your girl from day one. I want to thank all of my new subscribers. I appreciate you guys. Thank you. I know the League of Dads sent a couple of them over here, and I want to thank y'all for just subscribing, and believe me, that means a lot to me. I want to thank all of those who have submitted donations, the $5 or $10. I'm slowly but surely getting there where I can get a better camera. So slowly but surely, I know it's coming. So I thank y'all for having faith in me and supporting my channel. I'm supporting what I do. I'm so passionate at this. It's a lot of people that just do this just to be doing this. I'm passionate in what I do. I put my heart, I put my energy into it because I'm just so tired of just seeing these children just fail miserably just based on the type of people that produced them and brought them in this world. So I'm very passionate in what I do. You get what I'm saying? So I thank y'all for tuning in. You know my email. Anybody needs to reach out to me. You got a link that you want me to commentate on. Send me the link to my email, cafedayperry79@yahoo.com. Shout out to King Era. Still appreciate you. I got some projects coming your way soon. And I want to thank all of y'all for tuning in with Cafe de Perris. It is your girl, Lady Mocha. And you know I'm going to always pour you a cup of truth, and I'm going to always bake you off with a slice of knowledge. With that being said, y'all have a wonderful day, and I thank y'all for tuning in. Bye.